Welcome back to Hi-Fi Rush, in which we are fucking loaded with cash. So much so, we got all our additional chip slots, and we can finally get our full chip loadout ready to go. Level 3 battery magnet and level 2 parry charge, because as we get near the end of the game, there are going to be more and more things to parry, so it'll be important to siphon as many batteries out of those.
Yeah, you were saying that you had a setup where you could basically just keep doing special attacks constantly.
Yeah. Special attacks, jam combos, just keep that reverb gauge from going empty.
Actually, we say mission report.
Isn't that basically the same?
Yeah, but it's kind of our thing.
Semantics are unimportant.
With me, we've half
Semantics are very important, Cinnamon.
We go after Mimosa.
Head of marketing.
Oh yeah, now we're going after this bitch.
Armstrong Festival.
It's a huge party. Sounded awesome.
I mean, you saw her in the Zoom call where like one of the robots was preparing himself as a seat for her to sit on. She is clearly that.
Yeah.
She's very much she's also very much like what was her name from Final Fantasy VII? Scarlet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking one part Scarlet, one part Mistral.
Yeah.
Very professional, Korsica.
I'll get compliments on my plans.
Anyway,
You lack her professionalism. Shut up.
You lack her thinking.
You lack her everything. And also, again, another part of the running gag of, okay, I've synced our new friend up to 808's frequency. What? You'll see.
Yeah, fireworks and everything.
Yeah. Seriously, it's so fucking obvious what it's gonna be. She's our final assist character.
Yeah.
You thought it was gonna be Cinnamon, but alas. I was hoping it would have been Cinnamon, but he's not built for combat. This is just the sad fact, but we want to make sure that Cinnamon's able to help any way he can.
He just likes being part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Try. There should be a back route nearby leading to the museum.
One day, I want to take the front route.
That's what she said.
Next time we shoot you out of a cannon right to where we need to go.
Words that will be immediately regrets. You'll see. Yeah. We're now in marketing's territory, which means a whole lot of the vlogs we get are going to show that, yes, this is just as dysfunctional as any other department at Vandelay, in ways that are very specific to Mimosa and her bottomless supply of narcissism.
Yeah, that bit about, they can't think of anything, so they're just waiting to see what other people come up with and using that. Like, that's real life, though.
Yeah. And also, spending more money than all the other departments combined.
Yep.
Hey, everyone, check this out.
Like, no wonder game budgets are so inflated.
I mean, it used to be the perceived wisdom was that you spend, like, if you were making a movie or a game, you would take whatever the budget was for the game, and then about 20 to 30% of that, again, would be spent on the marketing. And now, marketing's about 50%. Depends on the game, obviously, but for AAA titles and big movies, yeah, it's closer to 50% of the budget on top.
Because that's ultimately going to be the way you get as many people's eyes on it that, like, you'll get their money to recoup costs on release.
Exactly.
Which begs the question, why can't you just be more reasonable with the development budget and marketing budget that you could probably have an easier time breaking even with a core set of users?
Yeah, but it's all about breaking records for money earned or money spent these days.
Yeah, it's all about infinite growth, never mind the fact that that's such an unsustainable concept.
Yeah, but unsustainable concepts don't really count when you're making billions on your movie.
Billions
no one really
on your
thinks
movie
about
that is
that.
mostly going to the executives anyway.
Yep.
Oh hey, look who finally had the courage.
It is a risk I'm willing to take.
Oh.
What will my boss think? Do not worry about yourself. I will take the blame.
Twoo
Please
wav.
accept this gift. I wrapped it myself.
It's so wonderful. But they prohibit us from exchanging gifts.
Oh, inter-office policies. You have thwarted me again.
Just do it when you're not on your work hours. It's fine.
This is a private moment. Please leave us be.
Yeah, so this is obviously like I said, after the whole section in security, this is where the game starts to pick back up. But this is an interesting start to this level because how I'm showing it makes it seem like it is very slow where nothing happens. But you could very easily skip past all this because this is all like just side environmental shit that is completely optional. But for the sake of completion in this Let's Play, I am naturally going to do it.
Yeah, I do no doubt that you could just make like a straight run through it for the gates and then blaze through it in like a minute and a half.
Yeah, because guess what's in here? It's our final side quest. Automatic messages that said that you were not selected from the raffle to attend, which I'm going to assume that was the only message that they had programmed to send out.
And the coupon's only marginally better than a pizza party.
Weirdly enough, the message that says you were selected for the raffle only went to Mimosa. Mimosa's basically like there's probably a meme image you could do of like, well, what was that? Was that like that Obama meme where it was like him giving himself the medal?
Oh yeah.
Just replace both Obamas with Mimosa. Just Mimosa like putting like the medal on the ribbon around the other Mimosa and just being like, yeah.
I think we gotta let that dream die.
Wow, I didn't know that these Vasers were capable of irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, he's taking a long time to log off.
I got it. I barely laughed. I stifled a laugh, but I got it.
This route is closed. I would help you, but I must polish this door. And see how this door shines.
You're only polishing the
Are
V.
you still lost? If I was sanctioned to, I would gladly help you. Alas, I have me duties, and I will do them well.
I suppose the thought's
I
appreciated.
appreciate your attempts to help.
Covered in my own blood it is.
I am fine.
But see how that makes it shine.
The WD-40 makes me feel alive. When I see it pour out of me guts.
So nostalgic I am.
A winning golden can thrown in the trash.
My pain receptors have been shut off since long ago. Several firmwares passed.
Please find it for me.
Can't remember which doctor it was that did it though. Oh wait, that was a different game.
I got him 30 left arms. It was a request. He seemed to really appreciate it.
I asked if he wanted me to give him a hand and, well, he took it a bit too literally.
Anyway, outside of that tangent, with our subtle Metal Gear Rising reference, we have to find the winning can that was foolishly tossed into the trash. And unsurprisingly, it is in the trash can farthest away from the scrub.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it randomly placed, or is it always going to be in that one?
Yeah, it's basically always in that one.
Wow, he is booking it.
Well, yeah, he gets to go to the show.
I'm guessing you saw what happened to the other robots.
So that's it for that first section. All the NPCs we could talk to, the side quest, and now it's time for the proper formal introduction of Korsica's assist. Like, you've seen these fire jets plenty of times. You know, much like how we saw plenty of the Z-shielding walls prior to getting Macaron. And this is the one that has the biggest timing component, because we have to hit the button multiple times in order to generate enough wind.
Ah, crap, we're playing Shadow Hearts now.
It looks a little bit like that roulette wheel, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot like the Judgment Wheel.
Your face is turning
God, that series needs to make a comeback.
I still need to play through them. It's like one of the few PS2 JRPGs where like I'm willing to like give it a shot, just because I've already made clear that like Final Fantasy's not for me.
Yeah. First one is good, second one is much better, third one also exists.
Oh.
And also there's Kudelka, which is probably one of the best RPGs or survival horror games on the PS1.
Depending on your perspective, how you look at it.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
easily both.
Interesting.
Also one of the first games, at the very least on the PS1, possibly ever, to use motion capture.
Ooh, that's actually impressive, if that's the case.
I don't think it was the very first.
For in-game, I take it, not like CG.
Yeah, for in-game cutscenes, I don't think they used it for the CG, but the actors, the voice actors were all theater performers, so they just had them acting out the scenes and used very early motion capture on them.
Yeah, if that's being done like in engine on the PS1, then that is hella impressive because not even technically advanced PS1 games like Vagrant Story or MGS1 did that.
Yep. It's one of those weird games that did everything wrong but somehow got it right. Like you back then you did not do that kind of thing and it works so well.
Yeah. It's like the perfect like lead-in to, you know, like 6th-gen consoles having a whole bunch of mocap as like a practically standard for in-game cinematics.
Basically,
Makes their work a hell of a lot easier.
Yep.
Alright, just gotta pick up our battery, getting as much of our reverb as possible. Unfortunately, despite my best efforts, it is impossible to get all 4 pips filled up before you get to your first combat encounter, which is right in this courtyard. But it's okay, it won't take long. Though we do get a new enemy. The Blitz. Or Blaze.
Why is it always the head?
Because funny.
Not cool.
Fair.
Putting out fires is my specialty.
So yeah, if there's fire, call in Korsica to put it out. Yes, this is the main thing with Korsica's assist. Her attacks do no direct damage. She is what you bring in to put out fires and also deal massive damage to enemy stun gauges. Like, you want to make sure that you have enemies, like, set up and ready for combos without any recourse. She's the one to do it. And obviously, because this is where she is first brought into your arsenal, this is before you're able to actually buy any of the like assist moves for her from the shop. But what we do, you'll see like the full potential when you have an entire trio of assists to pull off all kinds of jam combos.
So I take it they don't, like once you blow out the fire, they don't get it back?
They'll get it back eventually. Like
okay.
the Blitz has like a special animation where like they'll pull back. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing, kind of highlighting how it's like Korsica's, you know, like damage to the stun gauge has like a very unique property compared to regular stun damage, where once it is basically like a debuff. Like once it is applied, any additional stun gauge damage is heightened. So it's the sort of thing where like she could like land like the tail end of it from like her attack, but then you pull in all of your other assists and it will just cause the stun gauge damage to skyrocket.
Yeah, I noticed it had like a little wind icon on the stun gauge.
Yeah, that's the indicator that the debuff is in
I am
place.
so glad we didn't have to tragically destroy you, Lady Korsica.
All right.
Wording, please, Cinnamon, for the love of God. I mean, we all feel that same way, but you could word it much nicer.
I know you're not a combat model, but you still have to pull your punches.
You're still technically a psych robot, and you're terrible at your job. I don't know whether to blame you for this or Macaron.
Yeah, a little of both.
I suppose. I mean, Macaron did also build Smidge.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay all the blame at Macaron's feet then.
You know what? Yeah. Now that I think about it more, I agree.
He made
It's also gonna
Smidge
be
guilty.
It's also gonna be the blame is gonna be at him even more when you find like an extra special character in the post game that is a Smidge derivative.
You know, there are several jokes I could make right now, and I'm fairly certain all of them would get you kicked off of YouTube.
Then I guess we'll stop.
Smells like history.
And now for the part of the game that everyone dislikes. Not the people playing. Everyone in universe dislikes except Cinnamon. For different reasons.
Oh, she did the announcements herself too. So full of herself.
Well, I, for one, am very...
Oh, yeah. These two ladies do not like each other. There was even a conversation between two Vasers, like, early in the game, where they were like, seems like company harassment that Mimosa sent out congratulations to all of the all to the different executives except Korsica. Like, it's so blatant.
Also, that
Anyway.
free entrance but a mandatory donations actually how quite a few museums and that work in the UK. Technically free, but they really, really strongly suggest that you give them a donation.
Yeah. We are the Ginyu Sabers.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Ginyu bots.
Vandelay is committed to non-violent and helpful services, as demonstrated by our plainly violent robot forces.
I feel like there should be a big asterisk there with, like, an entire wall of disclaimer text.
Yeah. I mean, for real, like this is what I was talking about. Like, these are supposed to be robots that are sold to people under the guise that they are designed to, like, help them, because that is Vandelay's original mission statement, while hiding the fact that, oh yeah, these robots have, like, extremely lethal armaments. But that's okay, because the Blitz can, like, easily, like, punch and tenderize your food. But now here's something interesting. There were portraits of all the execs. Korsica is obviously not on the payroll anymore, so they had to very hastily put it in the back. And that mirror seems familiar. Yep. There's your more blatant Evil Within reference right there. Well, I guess
Really?
technically-
Were Seb and Joseph not obvious enough?
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. We already had Seb and Joseph already present in robot form. I guess it was like, that was the most obvious.
Just in case you really weren't paying attention.
Oh man, there's like, when we get to it, there is literally a blink and you miss it joke that hurts even more now, considering that Tango is no longer around.
Yeah, I think I know the one that you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
This foreign existence seems like no other than our security head, Korsica.
Yeah.
Former
but
Korsica, former security head, thank you.
I can see the bond of friendship is strong between you both.
Really?
Put out flames.
Are you sure?
Additionally, enemies affected by this energy are more susceptible to stun damage.
Yeah, for like the lightweight enemies, because they don't have a stun gauge, it puts them immediately in a specific dizzy state. You know? So like that extra helps as well if you want to like keep them from interrupting your beat hits. Awkward encounters. There we go. That's all the smidge tutorial segments in the entire game.
So we'll never see him again.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the Brutal's advertise function, where it's a hedge trimmer. And the Babu is actually is like a conflict dispute resolver. Emotional support. Again, they could not be any more awful at lying about what these robots are good for.
At least make us work for the jokes. Like, not even trying. I'm just sort of like, try and say something funny about this. Nope, nothing.
Yeah. I mean, whatever, but like Mimosa is like paying billions upon billions of Vandelay's money to like all of like in her department to make sure that it's like just keep saying it over and over, and eventually the users will think it's true. All right, second fight of the game, and this was definitely one where I had to do a lot of retries. Track 8 in general, it's not going to be very apparent, like, because like the encounter where it happened the most is not in this video, but in the second half, oh my god, I spent no joke, an hour and a half on this fucking stage just trying to no damage the damn thing. This was kind of the start of it where I was getting a bit tilted, having to retry it too much, and then when I was done, I was thinking, surely this is the worst it will ever get.
Oh.
No, it was not the worst it ever got. That was only at the very end.
I mean, I haven't played this, and I know from pattern recognition that this is obvious, like the back third of the game is obviously going to be way more difficult than anything else, and probably longer than the entire first half. So, yeah.
Not as long, I think. It kind of it starts to speed along a lot better at this point, especially just because, as you'll find, regular boss fights start to be more of a thing again. You know, especially after we went several chapters after Rekka without any real bosses.
Yeah.
Korsica doesn't count, we've established. Although this puts a damper on the pacing through the stages where you have like these mandatory exhibits that you have to sit through, where it goes through a very biased, shitty retelling of Vandelay's history, where it decides to just completely glaze over like the actual early history because Kale was not in charge. Instead, it was his mother.
Yeah, I'm getting a real BioShock 2 vibe here. With the children's ride through the founding of Rapture.
Oh, yeah.
And how it's all complete bullshit. Oh, sorry.
See, look at that. The Senko was designed to, like, you know, be a companion on your daytime walks, holding a parasol. Don't worry about the erratic behavior and electric barriers. It's fine.
I wish someone would say to me, by the way, the insanity is going to be patched out in a later update. That would make my life so much easier.
Yeah. Okay, but as you're gonna see, as the stage goes on, nobody is enjoying like this museum tour exhibit. Chai doesn't care because he's beating everything up. Peppermint seems especially angry, even more than like whenever she has to deal with Chai. Macaron's just sad because he remembers what the company was like, and Korsica's annoyed because she has to listen to Mimosa talk. Cinnamon doesn't mind because it's history. Anyway, now we got a special version of the Saber units that are fire-based. So we and like even though they look like they would be the same weight class as the regular Sabers, they count as like the heavies. So that means you have to worry about the stun gauge and also making sure they don't lay any fire hazards. But believe me when I say it, when it came to the moments that I had to retry the most, fire was actually the least of my worries. There's actually a gimmick that there's another gimmick to this stage that makes it way worse. But at least with this, with moments like this, once you get Korsica to shut them down, like fill up the stun gauge really quick, put out fires, it's like they are free.
Yeah. Only really technically heavyweights by sheer virtue of the fact that they have a stun bar.
Yeah, and, you know, admittedly more dangerous armaments. Because, yeah, they do have, like, the same core moveset when it comes to their melee attacks, but, like, if they do have fire, it is way worse.
Vandelay grew, and in only 3 years, the company became the world's largest supplier of robotics. Robots that efficiently and literally made the world a better place every day.
Citation needed on that within the last couple of years, please.
I mean, technically true from a certain point of view, but
felt like it made a difference.
Turns out Vandelay keeps editing their own Wikipedia article to, like, keep the facts straight with what they want.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Now, they're really going all out with the art references, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. And of course, they are all video monitors that link directly to Korsica, to Mimosa's camera. Yeah.
And to be fair, I've been thinking about getting one of those little LED photo frames for a while. Just link it up to my PC and, you know, just have it put up stupid pictures of cats every so often. It'd be great.
Yeah. A Senko and a Samurai Elite This was definitely, I think, like, you kind of saw it there briefly, like the one instance where summoning Peppermint kind of did not work as intended because she was a bit confused between which one to prioritize.
Yeah, well, I mean, either way,
just because I didn't really get like a good hit in on the Senko first thing to make sure that it was prioritized.
Yeah, I mean, between those two, that's not going to be a fun time, full stop.
Oh yeah. I mean, considering how like easy like the samurai, you know, elite is just going to like dodge your shit frequently, as well as, you know, just block damage as it goes into its specials. Yeah, I mean, like they do, like at this point, they do start to mix up the encounters and like create interesting scenarios more and more. But it is also no surprise that when it comes to some of the post-game material, that's where like the enemy encounter mixing starts to like hit its stride.
Yeah.
Which is like not surprising, but as someone that plays a lot of action games and appreciates like when they can just throw like really creative and challenging enemy encounters at you, that like it'd be nice if the bite of it ramped up even more during the main game. Because it's always kind of annoying if it's something that they only save like the real juice for it, like on the after you beat it the first time.
Yeah, it makes me think of how Devil May Cry 4, the blitzes were like the worst enemy in the game. I could never like properly fight them. And
they are super hard to react.
And then when you start playing on the harder difficulty settings, it's like, yeah, they're just going to show up in the first third of the game.
Yeah.
Every fight's going to have 6 of them.
That's the thing that is ultimately missing from this game, and it is such a shame that it is missing, because I kept hoping that it would be in as like a post-launch update. There is no enemy remixes for this game, there is no, like with Rhythm Master being an unlockable difficulty, it does not change the enemy layouts. They are always the same no matter the difficulty.
That's a real shame.
Yeah, so it's like if you really do want like more challenging enemy mix-ups, you basically have to engage with like the post-game content that this game has, which is effectively a Bloody Palace mode.
Yeah, because that was one of the best things about, like, I always say that Devil May Cry did higher difficulties right, because like compared to say God of War, where the higher difficulty settings just meant you did less damage and the enemies could tank more. And Devil May Cry was, okay, now the enemies have an entirely different new set of moves, and we're going to start pairing them up in ways that you're not going to expect. Like, perfect.
Yeah.
Keep me on my toes.
Yeah. My gold standard is still Ninja Gaiden Black, because like those difficulties have the added benefit of doing more than just enemy remixes. They also remix item placements and like the acquisition of moves, so it does a lot to actually like encourage you to like understand like your core basic moveset and like capitalize on it more than you probably would have, because you go in hard difficulty and realize, oh wait, they don't give you the counter attack move when you start chapter 3. What do you do now when you start getting the enemies that you previously dealt with by, oh, I'll just counterattack them to open up? Oh no, you gotta open them up a different way now and start learning the combat for real.
Can opener?
Oop. So, well, it's not a literal can opener, but
man opener.
But I think it's quite powerful.
A
strong statement.
I don't want to ask what your artistic influences are right now, Oscar. But I do appreciate the beret.
Oh, okay, yeah, I recognize what that's based on. Wow, that was dark.
Yeah.
The critics were right, Oscar. It's rare for me to say that, but they were 100% right.
I prefer to create works of peace. You literally created Cronus eating his children. You sick fuck.
That's not considered a happy, shiny piece of art.
So many things we were busting up in these like back corridors, because we destroyed that. We also destroyed like some standees of like old enemies that were not ready to be implemented in the base game. Like there was a Gold Elite series that looked suspiciously a lot like Thanos, and there seemed to be a blue-colored looking kimono enemy that was up on the rafters. Anyway, time to buy Korsica's assist attacks, including her jam combo linkers, because those are important. Her air one is especially important for like the high hit combos, as I was talking about, because every time like that gust of wind, that tornado connects, that is an additional hit, and it wraps up super quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say, that looks like it's about half a dozen to a dozen hits or so.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.